Imagine a world without elephants, without bees, without sharks. Now, at first, you might think that's just about losing a few beautiful creatures. But let me tell you, this loss would affect far more than just nature. It would hit us right where it hurts, in the global economy. Animals, from the tiniest insects to the largest predators, play a critical role in keeping economies thriving, communities working, and ecosystems balanced. Whether it's the humble bee that keeps our food supply intact, the tiger that fuels ecotourism, or even the shark that holds marine life in check, wildlife drives billions of dollars every year into the economy. So today, we're diving into the hidden economic power of animals. From the smallest pollinators to the kings of the ocean, you'll discover surprising facts, inspiring stories, and the undeniable truth that saving animals is saving ourselves. And here's the thing, some of these facts will truly blow your mind. Let's start small. With bees. You might already know that bees are important for pollination. But do you know what that really means for you? For me? For every single one of us? Here's the reality. 1 out of every 3 bites of food you eat relies on bee pollination. Apples, almonds, blueberries, avocados, coffee beans. These crops all depend on bees doing what they do best. Without bees, entire food industries would collapse. And economically, bees are powerhouses. Pollination services performed by bees contribute over $200 billion annually to the global economy. Let me say that again, $200 billion, just from bees doing their job. Now let's take California as an example. The state produces 80% of the world's almonds, and this industry alone is worth billions of dollars. But here's something fascinating. California's almond orchards wouldn't survive without bees. Every spring, farmers truck in over 1.5 million beehives from across the country. These bees work tirelessly to pollinate the orchards, and in return, they sustain an entire industry. And it's not just almonds. Bees pollinate over 90 crops worldwide, including fruits, vegetables, nuts, and even cotton plants. That's right, cotton. So without bees, even industries like textiles would take a hit. Imagine the ripple effect. No bees, no cotton, no fabric. That impacts everything from clothing to manufacturing to jobs. But here's the scary part. Bees are disappearing. Habitat destruction, pesticides, and climate change are all driving bee populations down. If we don't take action to protect them, we're not just losing bees. We're risking billions of dollars in agriculture and food security. Bees are small but mighty. They're the silent heroes of our food system. So, the next time you see a bee buzzing around, think about this. That little insect might be holding up your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner. Now let's go from tiny bees to something much, much bigger. Lions, elephants, gorillas. Wildlife tourism is a massive industry and a critical economic driver for many countries, especially in Africa, Asia, and South America. And here's the number to remember. Wildlife tourism generates over $30 billion annually in Africa alone. Tourists from around the world pay to see elephants roam across vast savannas, lions hunting in the wild, or gorillas deep in the jungles of Rwanda. And this money doesn't just vanish into the air, it flows directly into local economies. It creates jobs for guides, rangers, hotel staff, restaurant owners, and artisans. Communities that once struggled economically are now thriving because of the presence of wildlife. Take India, for example. India is home to the Bengal tiger, one of the most majestic animals on the planet. Tiger reserves across the country attract millions of tourists every year. But beyond the beauty of seeing tigers in the wild, there's a deeper economic benefit. In regions with tiger reserves, ecotourism has lifted entire villages out of poverty. Local businesses flourish. Jobs are created. And for every dollar invested in protecting tigers, communities see up to $5 in return. Think about that for a moment. Protecting tigers doesn't just save an animal, it fuels economic growth and stability for people. But here's the catch. Tigers, elephants, and other land animals face constant threats. Habitat loss, poaching, and human-wildlife conflict put their populations, and the economies they support, at risk. And this isn't just about animals on land. Let's dive into the oceans, where some of the most misunderstood creatures are creating massive economic waves. When you hear the word shark, you might think of a villain in a movie. But sharks are far more valuable alive than dead. And I mean that literally. Here's a jaw-dropping fact. A single shark can generate up to $1.9 million in tourism revenue over its lifetime. That's right, $1.9 million. In places like the Maldives, Fiji, and the Bahamas, shark-watching tours attract thousands of tourists every year. People travel across the globe to see sharks up close in their natural habitats. And this demand fuels entire economies. Hotels, boat tours, local shops, and restaurants all benefit. Let's take the Bahamas as an example. Shark tourism alone brings in over $100 million annually. That's a huge boost to local businesses and jobs. But sharks aren't just important for tourism, they're essential for keeping our oceans healthy. Sharks regulate fish populations, which prevents overgrazing on coral reefs. Healthy coral reefs support fisheries, and fisheries feed millions of people around the world. They also contribute billions of dollars to the global economy. Yet, despite their importance, sharks are hunted for their fins. A dead shark might sell for a few $100s, but a live shark can be worth millions. Killing sharks for short-term gain isn't just devastating for ecosystems, it's economically short-sighted. So, what do bees, tigers, and sharks have in common? They all remind us of one undeniable truth. Protecting wildlife isn't just about saving animals, it's about protecting economies, jobs, and our own future. Bees keep our food system alive. Tigers fuel tourism and lift communities out of poverty. Sharks keep oceans healthy and economies thriving. Every time we lose a species, we're not just losing part of nature, we're losing economic opportunities and stability for people all over the world. But there's hope. Across the globe, conservation projects are proving that when we protect animals, we also protect people. Ecotourism is creating jobs. Wildlife protection is strengthening communities. And sustainable practices are helping us build a better future. So here's my question to you. Which animal do you think is the most valuable to our planet? Is it the bee, buzzing away to keep our food growing? The tiger, majestic and powerful? Or the shark, silently keeping our oceans alive? And what small step can you take to protect them? It doesn't have to be something grand or overwhelming. Small, consistent actions can ripple outward and create incredible change. Maybe it's as simple as planting wildflowers or native plants in your garden or on your balcony. These plants attract bees, butterflies, and other pollinators, creating tiny oases for creatures essential to our food system. Perhaps you can support ecotourism on your next trip, choosing wildlife-friendly tours or visiting nature reserves where your money directly funds conservation efforts and supports local communities. Ecotourism proves that protecting wildlife can bring economic opportunity, not just for animals but for people, too. Or maybe you could look at the products you buy. Supporting companies that use sustainable practices, whether that's honey from ethical beekeepers, chocolate certified for biodiversity protection, or clothes made without harmful environmental practices, sends a powerful message to industries. It says, we care about wildlife, and we want businesses to care, too. Even spreading awareness helps. Share stories like this video with your friends and family. Talk about why bees, elephants, sharks, and all wildlife matter. The more people know, the more we can inspire real change together. And here's a challenge. Think about one small action you can start today. It might seem small on its own, but remember, when millions of us act together, small steps can become giant leaps for wildlife and our planet. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one thing you'll do to help protect animals and the ecosystems they support? Will you plant for pollinators? Buy more sustainably? Share this message with someone who needs to hear it? Let us know in the comments below. And if this video opened your eyes to the incredible value of wildlife, don't forget to hit like, share, and subscribe. By doing that, you're helping spread this message even further. At PlanetariHub, we're on a mission to connect nature, sustainability, and the economy in ways that inspire curiosity and drive positive change. Together, we can celebrate and protect the animals that power our world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.